Welcome to this January 8th edition of the Weekly Recap. I'm Matt Wacker. 6 different fire protection agencies responded to a funeral home blaze in Salem on January 4th. According to a report from the Dent County Fire Protection District, the James and Gar mortuary sustained heavy damage to both structure and contents. Firefighters arrived on the scene around 2 p.m. to find heavy smoke and flames and remained there until 9:30. No one was injured in the incident, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. The Great Flood of 2015 left 7 people dead in Pulaski County, 5 of whom were international soldiers training at Fort Leonard Wood. The soldiers were returning to post when their vehicle was forced off the road at a low-water crossing on Highway U near Crocker. A memorial is scheduled for January 8th at the Fort Leonard Wood Chapel. A total of 15 people died across Missouri from this disaster. A new record was set in Jerome as the Gasconade River crested at nearly 32 feet on December 29th. Flooding forced the closure of Interstate 44 near Jerome and U.S. Highway 63 south of Vienna, as well as dozens of other state routes and county roads. Anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of rain fell during the slow-moving weather system from December 26th through the 28th. The National Weather Service reports that last month is now the wettest December on record. 25-year-old Brendan Riggs of Lebanon died from a gunshot wound to the chest following an early morning altercation at a convenience store. Springfield PD responded to a Conoco gas station on South Glenstone shortly after 1:20 a.m. on January 3rd. Police say the shooter wasn't arrested because there wasn't evidence to indicate a crime had been committed. The shooter stayed on the scene until law enforcement arrived, prompting speculation that the weapon was fired in self-defense. After questioning the suspect and speaking with Greene County prosecutors, detectives have decided that no charges will be filed. Troop I has reported the first traffic fatality of 2016. A woman from Summersville was killed in a head-on crash on January 3rd after the vehicle she was driving struck a tractor-trailer 9 miles south of Rolla. 32-year-old Samantha Duvall was driving a 2003 Toyota Celica on Route 63 when she traveled into the path of a southbound semi driven by 27-year-old Jason Spicer of Ozark. Duvall was pronounced dead at the scene. She was not wearing a seatbelt. State Route 17 north of Crocker was closed for about 25 hours when a propane tanker crashed and began leaking fuel. The semi was driven by 57-year-old Brian Bowser of Dixon. Bowser failed to negotiate a curve and traveled off the road, striking 2 signs and overturning. The tank was carrying about 9,000 gallons of propane. Fire crews waited for the fuel to dissipate and sprayed the tank for nearly 18 hours to prevent freezing. Those living within a 1-mile radius around the crash site were evacuated. The driver suffered minor injuries and was taken to Lake Regional Medical Center in Osage Beach. The first part of the massive Osage Trail Legacy Monument is now on display in Cuba. The wolf, seen here, was loaded onto a trailer and moved to the Visitor Center on December 23rd. The project is ongoing and donations are encouraged. If interested in joining this project, visit OsageTrailLegacy.com. Rolla police officers say that a suspicious item left outside the Phelps County Courthouse was not meant to cause harm, but, quote, was intended to cause alarm. According to an incident report from the Rolla Police Department, officers arrived at the courthouse on December 30th to inspect an item left on the front doorstep of the building. It was immediately determined that the item was harmless, but the investigation is ongoing. And finally, congratulations to the Rolla High School boys basketball team on winning the U.S. Bank Holiday Tournament. The Bulldogs were able to get over the hump by defeating the Waynesville Tigers 80-47. Waynesville had beaten Rolla in the championship game the previous 2 seasons. That's it for now. I'm Matt Wacker. Thanks for watching the Weekly Recap.
Be a below-zero hero for Special Olympics Missouri athletes. Come out of winter hibernation and take a plunge in your choice of 14 different frigid bodies of water this January and February. Sponsored by your local law enforcement, the proceeds support more than 16,500 children and adults with intellectual disabilities in year-round sports training and competitions throughout the state of Missouri. To find out how you can get involved, visit slomo.org/plunge. So go get your family and friends together and take the plunge to make a difference in an athlete's life today.